Alright, so we have a battle here between Nick Maynard and Jake Robertson. Regrets Jake, Nick wish Nick. Um, Jake coming in at 4-3, sitting about ninth in the ladder, so a win here will put him in the top 8. And Nick, a colloquial good performer in the league. He's made 2 semi-finals in a row, I think, struggling at 2-5, so this is interesting. Um, Jake's gone for the smash pass with Hunter, which is his favourite strategy. We see his Gliscor, which we have every week. He's pathetic at using Mega Sableye, so actually quite funny to see how he'll use it this time. That's the thing with Jake battles, like you don't know what you're going to get. You're either going to get the good, the bad, or the plain hilarious. Nick's team looks pretty good against his team, though, actually. Rhyperia really checks the Darmanitan threat. No Keldeo, which is very surprising, I think. But yeah, I'm not seeing a lot to stop Volcarona once it gets maybe Chinchino, but if it gets to +1, I can see a Volcarona sweep happening. Mega Alakazam looks dangerous. I'm guarantee it packs a Shadow Ball for the Bronzong. I guess Gramble's a good way to stop Chinchino, but yeah, with King's Rock or Choice Band is not going to be taking a lot. Nick likes to lead with Roserade, and I know Jake's taken note of that. He's actually told me. So I think he'll try and counteract that Roserade lead with a Darmanitan. And Nick has absolutely called it perfectly, leading with Rhyperia, almost as if he baited it. So it's going to be interesting because, in my opinion, Nick's a more prolific battler, but Jake has a better record and probably the better team. So, turn 1. Does Nick just get up his Stealth Rocks? I think he should, as Jake will U-turn, revealing either Scarf or Life Orb. So maybe he'll keep it hidden and flat out switch to Bronzong. Who knows? But if I was Nick, I'd just get my Stealth Rocks up here. They hurt the Darmanitan well. Nick doesn't have a Defogger. He won't be running Defog on Gliscor surely, and without leading with Sableye, he can't prevent the rocks getting up with Magic Bounce. So this is a really big win for Nick. So the U-turn happens, and he looks like he's scarfed with that damage and the no Life Orb recoil. And he goes straight at Chinchino, Stone Edge straight away. Doesn't mess around. Leftovers Rhyperia, so Chinchino's crippled, but he does get Bullet Seed. So what does Nick do here? Does he predict the Bullet Seed and go into Gramble? I guess that's the play. Jake might be able to read that and go for U-turn or some momentum, but it's a difficult play for him to make. I think, yeah, he does go to Gramble, and he does just go straight for the Bullet Seed, doing absolutely nothing. That's almost healed Gramble. Oh my goodness. So done 10% all up. Gramble here is pretty safe to go for a play rough, knock out the Chinchino, although Bronzong can come in and get rocks up for Jake, so Nick may want to counteract that with a switch into... he doesn't switch, he just goes for the kill. Does Jake have King's Rock? That would be annoying. He does, he has to have it, I reckon. And he forgot to EV it. Great team building. Great team building. Told you get the good, the bad, or the plain right funny with Jake. So he's just going for the flinches, and he gets 2. It's gonna piss Nick off. He hasn't had a lot of luck this season, and this is not what he needs. Yeah. Here we go, he says, oh, get rid of this. Sorry. He has 3 flinches. Like, wouldn't he just switch? I'm not sure. I think he's got a few more chances, but the chances of flinching are pretty high. And he gets it. The next one won't knock him out, so he's got one last chance to get off a player off. If this player off misses, I'll cry. Oh, he goes for the Earthquake. Okay. So he gets rid of the Chinchino, and basically a swap. Which, I think if Nick was to go into the match with that matchup, he'd take it. But the Hunter, he just goes straight for the setup, even though he's going to take 60%. Play Roar's great play. Fantastic play by Nick. Good preparation. That's good play. But Bronzong can get his rocks up here, which will be really important for the Volcarona, sorry. Okay, he chooses... Oh, I don't agree with that play at all. He goes for Gyro Ball just to kill the Gramble. Rocks have been really, really helpful there. If he has them, of course. Surely he has them on Bronzong. Why else do you bring a Bronzong? Nick got the paralysis off, which actually strengthens the gyro ball, which is interesting. But is this a free setup for Volcarona? It looks like it. Unless Bronzong's carrying Rock Slide, which would be a good play, because otherwise it is set up fodder. He goes out to it. Let's see how well Jake's prepared. He's thinking. Leads me to think he doesn't have the Rock Slide because it's something he just click. This is one of those moments in team building where you're just like, fuck yes, it paid off. Goes to the fiery dance straight away. Life Orb Volcarona. This Diamond Scarf and it will have Rock Slide. We go straight out to Rhyperior, the designated check, and that was a snack. That healed him, honestly. So Rhyperior is free to do whatever he wants. The Stone Edge will pretty much knock out anything in his team besides the Bronzong. At least that won't flinch. Funny buggers. So he goes out to Gliscor as he gets his rocks up there, which helps against the Diamond a lot. And it breaks a sash on Huntail if I've missed the Whitehead. Was he Whitehead? Yeah, he was Whitehead. That doesn't matter. Don't listen to me. He did pack the Ice Punch for the Gliscor as well, so Nick's really prepared well for this match. This is the Season 1 and 2 Nick we all know. Not the getting swept by Mushana and Swoobat Nick. Poor guy. It's a bit stale at the moment. I think this is where Jake has to get his rocks up. Like, he just has to. Gyro Ball won't do a heck of a lot to a really slow Rhyperior. Really bulky Rhyperior, it looks like with leftovers. He gets the paralysis and he just goes for the roll. Bringing Huntail out. Rhyperior will die to a Surf. So maybe he feels pressure here to go out to Roserade. But he's got to be really careful of actually... Oh, just go straight for a Baton Pass. Okay. The Bronzong comes out on... He's just double roared, trying to get some rocks damage, and he does get the Diamanitan, which is perfect. Because that's really limiting its ability to Flare Blitz and do damage to everyone. Just he forsakes his Diamanitan there. It's not much else he can do here. This game's almost a wrap at this point. He's lost all sorts of power. Unless he can get a Sableye set up, it looks pretty much over. Huntail's in here. Does he even have Surf? Does he have an attacking move? We've seen Shell Smash, Baton Pass. He has to have Surf. Well, it's called GG. So yeah, it's good to see Nick back. He has Waterfall. I would have played for a special Huntail knowing you have a Rhyperior and a Gramble, but in any case. Yeah, Rhyperior's doing all the work this match. Yeah, it's good to see Nick back to some form. He needed it too. Been pretty demoralised recently. So it's really good. He brings out the Electros on the paralysis. Gyro Ball would have done what? Nothing. Knockoff takes away half the remaining HP. It's just a matter of time now. The Psychic gets a crit. Doesn't matter. If Sableye can find a way to set up with Calm Mind, maybe. We'll have him harass on this, but no, he just goes to, he's brought Roar and everything. Really expecting that Shell Smash Baton Pass plan, which Jake has kind of adopted off Sam, picking up Huntail in the trade period. It worked for him last week, but Nick prepared a little bit better than what Darren did. So much Raw. He's pretty much going for broke here. Raw doesn't work. Magic Bounce. Brings it out Alakazam. This is a moment here. If he can get up a Calm Mind and not take too much damage, we never know. Sableye's that kind of Pokemon, but Jake is really bad at using it. Dazzling Gleam does relatively nothing, but I think he's just giving the game away by Shadow Balling instead of recovering or setting up another Calm Mind. Jake's known to choke really. Plus fiery dances hit. Ah, yes, of course, the Alakazam theory. NBA joke, I had Alakazam in my team for the first 2 seasons, and I think it died once in those 2 seasons, and that was the only match I lost. So, yeah, hasn't quite reached the same kind of hype at Nick's team, but he's learning. So you can Quiver Dance here, and oh, he doesn't even have to. Bug Buzz knocks him out, of course, with the Life Orb damage. So Volcarona should be able to clean up the last 2 kills, unless he has Stone Edge on his Gliscor. But he usually runs his very, very familiar set. It's Toxic Sub, Protect, Earthquake, and there it is. So Giga Drain here will knock out the Gliscor, and then Fiery Dance will, no, he's going for the stall, and then a Fiery Dance will knock out Bronzong, and that's game. A very, very, very good 4-0 to Nick. He played quite exceptionally, as a matter of fact. Really preparing for the bat and pass with Roars. He bought the perfect Rhyperior set to counter the biggest threats on Jake's team. Roserade would have been a great answer to Keldeo had he have bought it, which would have been the thought process behind it, I'd say. He just really brought his A game for this match, and he did need to. It's a matter of moments here. Jake, stubborn in defeat, but I guess I'm not sure what he's trying to do, but I guess he's just trying to have as much fun as possible. See if he can bring it down to a 3-0. His differential is a big factor in this league. I think he's not far behind Rico in differential. And Crit there would have brought it down to a 3-0, which is interesting, but that's game. Yeah, he just lets Gliscor die. Doesn't bother with the Protect. Calls GG, and it's a good game. Yeah, really well played by Nick. Not a lot Jake could have done. Although, I guess the Hunter play was a bit obnoxious early on. Thinking he could set up and win. Turn, 5 or so. But yeah, that's all for this one. That'll take Nick to 3-5 after 8 rounds, which leaves him a sniff. He's a game differential outside of the 8. And that puts Jake in a similar position, does it? Or is he... Now, Jake's now 4-4, Nick's 3-5, so... He's catching at his heels, but out of the people outside of the fight of the top 10, there's 3 teams on 16 points fighting for the 8. Nick's the only one at the moment who looks like catching up, so let's see how hard he can come home. Thanks, guys. I'm Mark, coach of Tottenham, and this is the NBA.